so many different immigrant ways coming together and adapting, and first bringing some of the things we found back to Europe and then returning to the States. And my husband wrote a book called American Food, which was really kind of before its time, but it's still in print. And we traveled a lot around the country, getting stories, getting recipes. And then I heard that the Boston publisher who did Fanny Farmer, they wanted to update it. And I said I wouldn't touch it no in your life, because to me it had become what I call a box top cookery cookbook. Just, there was nobody there. It was just filled with very truncated recipes, and there was no magic to it. The original Fanny Farmer had a personality and a voice, but that had been lost in the succeeding generations because there was nobody there who was really a cook. And because I said I wasn't interested, I have to credit to Frank Benson up in Boston, who was the head of the Fanny Farmer Company. They talked to half a dozen people, and he was interested in the one who said I wouldn't touch it because it's become a bad book. And he came down to Boston to see me, and I said, it would really we'd have to create a Fanny Farmer of this century, and we'd have to really go through every recipe and throw out the things that aren't good and reinterpret the new, and it's writing a new book. He said, who would do it? I thought, I don't know. Anyway, Jim Beard was a great friend. I worked with him, and he was just, a huge man. He was stuffed with knowledge. You could just tap him for anything and he'd have an answer. So I went to Jim Beard and said, who'll be our new Fanny Farmer? And he said, well, I know a woman named Marion Cunningham. She's California, and I know Fanny Farmer's New England, but she's got the American taste, and that's what's important. You don't want somebody interpreting these recipes and giving them a French accent. And he showed me some letters that he and Marion corresponded all the time. And I started reading his letters, and I knew that was the person I wanted. So Marion was brought to New York, and Frank Benson came down from Boston, and the three of us met. And after we talked, he said, well, I'd like to take you ladies to lunch. And so we went to a little French restaurant down the street, and he said, how about a cocktail? And Marion, with this big beatific smile, said, oh no, I'm an alcoholic, I don't drink. And I thought, Boston, there we go. But sure enough, he told me later that he was pretty certain, but at that moment he was convinced this was our new Fanny Farmer. So Marion didn't realize what she'd taken on, nor did I. She had done virtually no writing, but what she had was that absolute honesty and forthrightness and sense of taste, and it came out in her descriptions. And she always knew just what was wrong. She could taste a cake and say, not sweet enough, but often wasn't sweet enough. And anyway, that was a great experience, and it's so much fun for me over the years as an editor to see these people evolve and really find that voice. Not too long ago, I think it was 3 books ago, I worked with Lydia Bastianich, and up to that point, she had a writer, perfectly capable, but I didn't. And once I got to know her, I felt she's not in that book. She's not, and I want to know so much more about how she does things. So, and she had to have somebody help her because she's doing a zillion things at once, and she needed a good writer. But we got somebody, and I made it a condition that he be in the kitchen with her and observe and ask questions and say, what are you going to do with this little leftover? Or, why are you doing that? And all of a sudden, not only did he life. She says to me, "You released me, Judith." Sometimes I wonder what I released, because at 3 in the